Prova a vedere se mi vedi, amore. Sempre... What's up, guys? Hey, what's up, Joe? How you doing? What's up, Dean? Guys, I'm waiting for the confirm, but like on this Sunday, we are going to have like a superstar here on the Blading Chats. Man, I'm really crossing my finger to see if the one and only will be able. He just told me already yes, but like we need to schedule like the time and all that. So, damn, that one will be pretty awesome. And with that being said, like we are going to have on Wednesday Angie Walton from Daily Bread, and on Thursday Abdil Kohlberg, as well as on Friday Eric Garcia from JSF, and on Saturday we are going to have Carter LeBlanc and Jeff Howard at the same day. So this week is gonna be intense. Broskow. Maybe, could be, I don't know. But it's not Broskow. It's someone related to a video with some bunny. So, grande Paco. And in that video there might be like, there are like a bunch of superstars such as John Elliott, Brian Shima. Oh man, Patty, I would love to do one with Patty. I just recently saw him skating, so man, that would be great. Maybe I'll try to text him. Let's see if this gentle to be part of this. But yeah, man, like Patty will be great. The one and only JP. And so with Mike, we are going to talk about like the current situation in New York. I believe he lives in Brooklyn, probably, or like Bushwick, one of those neighbor in New York. Oh, Joe, man, that will be amazing, man. That will be a cool thing. Thank you so much, brother. How's golf? Did you play any on these days? I saw like a story of you playing golf the other day. So you went to the court, right? You made me want to try it. I was talking with Gautier, a good friend of mine from France, and and I was like, man, I would like to try to play golf one day. Actually, to be honest with you, like I always wanted in a way to try it because I saw Michael Jordan playing it several times, and I'm kind of a huge fan of MJ, and so I always wanted to say, hey, I mean, like, let's try it. But as I was saying, like here in Italy, it's still like one of those rich people thing. But maybe, of course, I cannot go there, like, you know, with all of those clothes. But yeah, maybe one day I'll try it. So yeah, with Mike, we're going to talk about like all of the video he's been doing for them skates. How like the process behind it, and yeah, like all the things that like he have done. He recently had like, let me just check it. Yeah, this DVD. I don't know if you ever saw this DVD, guys. Francesco Molinari. Isn't it the guy who like he did like pretty decent last year, isn't it? So Mike is already here. Okay, Mike. I was just showing this DVD to the people here joining it, and so yeah, I think like we could start this one. Let's wait for Mike to be connected. Yo, what's up, boss?
Hey, what's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
Is
this can you see me okay?
Yeah, of course, perfectly.
All right, cool.
I can see you and hear you perfectly. You're
Very
drinking
good.
like coffee or tea? What is that?
Coffee.
Awesome, great. Them coffee or like some other coffee?
This is not them coffee, but I've had them coffee. It's good. It's great.
Awesome. I was wondering to see like if John is sending that damn coffee here in Europe. Could be great to try it like one of them.
Yeah, I think he might be. I really don't know. Yeah, I
I
haven't
should have
really asked
asked
what he's.
it because
Yeah,
like
I know. I tried to bring up in the chat. I tried to have him mention something about the coffee because I think people are curious. Like, what the hell are you doing with coffee? And
true,
it's
true.
like it's weird, but it's cool, and it's like yeah. I kind of
Definitely.
want to know more too.
We should like to do another one. I mean, like for me, I got like the sense that like I was going like I could go there like for 2, 3 hours, like, but I didn't want to steal time for John. So like maybe there will be another one,
Yeah,
which will
you
be
could do
great.
like six with him on like the different eras of everything that he's achieved in his career.
Exactly, man. That would be like a cool thing, like
Yeah.
a special Blading Chat John Julio edition.
Yeah, seriously.
So how's life? Everything's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you? Everything good there?
Like today, it's the very first day that the government allowed like people here in Italy to go into the streets without like risking to have any fine. Of course, within all of those social distancing proceeds, like you have to wear mask, gloves, like you have to stay at least 1 meter away from the people you have in front of you. You're
Yeah.
not you're not allowed to go visit friends, but just only relatives. And
Uh-huh. Well, okay.
but it seems like since yesterday for the last 2 months we were like I wouldn't say forced because it wasn't like a forced thing, but like we were only able to go to the grocery and to the pharmacy, and like we weren't able to go outside making sports like skating or whatever. So
Right.
it was like kind of tricky. What about you?
Maybe some of the most strict uh lockdown I don't know, guidelines or whatever it is, laws there is right now, or right,
Yeah,
like you guys had, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
because like
ours is nothing compared to that, you know, or is nothing compared to that. And you've been doing it. Italy's been on lockdown for way longer than us, right? Maybe
yeah,
even another month
yeah,
before we were. Yeah, crazy.
because we like the very beginning of March, like the very beginning of March, the government says, "All right, guys, it might be the chance that on these days we are going to lock down the country because the numbers are scaring us." And
Yeah,
then, like from I wouldn't say from one day to another, but like with 4 days in advance, and say, "Okay, guys, from Monday 8th, everything will be locked down and quarantine and all that." And so yeah, all the thing happened, and because of course the numbers like they were increasing super high, and like we didn't know what was going on, and like we were scared about I might infect my mother, I might infect my relatives
right.
and all that. So
Yeah.
it was like
And yeah. So I mean, I guess the community and the population of Italy was pretty accepting of the quarantine. Is that what it sounds like?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I usually like I wouldn't say like we don't trust the government, but like government is all the time government, and there's
Hmm.
different thoughts about it and all that. But
Right.
like apparently like we were like all united on that mission, and like yeah, most of the people stay inside of their places. Of course, there were like people outside and all that, but like I didn't expect this positive reaction from the people, to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah. The community kind of joining
Exactly.
together. Yeah.
Exactly. But like in,
Very
in,
interesting.
in the US, like in the US, John from sent me and other friends sent me the videos of people like protesting into the streets because they
Yeah.
said
So
that
you guys didn't have people with like assault rifles go into your government buildings and demand to open hair salons and stuff?
no, because like probably we
That's a
were
joke.
scared. Because we were scared. Like the numbers, they were like, especially Milano, Bergamo, and Brescia, which are like three of the main city of the region of Lombardy. They were like madly hit by that, and so maybe the world,
Yeah.
the rest of the people of the rest of the country, they got, I wouldn't say they got scared, but they're like, hey, if Milano, which is like the city who's like running the most here in Italy, is doing that bad, could you imagine if like in Naples or in
Yeah.
Palermo could
Yeah,
have
of
been like
course. Yeah.
pretty worse. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, I keep like thinking about your situation in Italy, and it's like you guys have been on a more strict version of a lockdown for at least a month longer than even we have in New York or in San Francisco, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were on lockdown much earlier than some of the Midwest and southern states in our country. And our lockdown is nothing compared to what your guys' lockdown is. I'm telling you. I mean, we're all like, we have our guidelines and we're trying to do our best, right? But there's no super strict, like, yeah, it's not super strict the way Italy is, you know? And yet we're protesting with guns and shit. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, it's like, you haven't even done 1/4 of like, no, but let me ask you something, like, I guess to speak to like the point that they were making, like, so even the super, super small, isolated towns and villages in Italy, are those on lockdown just the same?
Yeah, I mean, like, that is why I was surprised by that, because like everybody were like doing, of course, like you see on the internet, the video of people doing like real barbecue party at the rooftop of buildings and stuff like that. But like, besides those like small cases, like the whole country seemed, you know, like pretty hidden by that, and like kind of I wouldn't say scared, because like scared is like a tough word, but like, yeah, we were like united on that mission, and apparently we are doing good. But right now it's, in my opinion, the true test, because right now everybody is allowed to go outside. So I'm scared most to see the numbers in 2 weeks from today, exactly, which is like scaring me the most, because if the numbers are going high again and the government will lock down again the country, it won't be economically wise a good thing for our country, in my opinion.
Right, totally. Cool.
And so we're now in New York, like there are still people going to the tube, no problem. People doing their activities outside, go to the stores and whatever without like, I mean,
it's not business as usual by any means. The trains are what normally is a every 4 minutes train is every 20 minutes now.
Oh, wow.
During rush hour. My girlfriend's a nurse, so she has when I don't take her to work or pick her up from work, which I've been trying to pick her up from work every time she works. She goes to work really early and she has no problem taking the train as long as she can time it. But there has been times where she's like, she didn't realize that the train was on like this insane delay, like 20 minutes. Like she misses a train, she's like late for work. Basically, that's it, you know. Where that used to not be the case, you know. And
true.
So yeah, so the trains are running, but they used to run 24 hours, and now our governor just announced that I don't know, they did something with the MTA, which is Metro Transit Authority, whatever it is, but like the train company, like they're going to shut them down from like 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. to do like a disinfect on all the trains every night. And that's basically so the healthcare workers and essential workers that have to take the trains will have clean trains to get on every day. I mean, it's something. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, but yeah, and then a lot of restaurants are open for takeout. Obviously no bars, no. Yeah, I mean, it's actually some bars are open if they have food, but it's only for takeout, and then they'll let you like get a to-go cocktail, which is not normally legal here, but they're just like, well, what the fuck. So,
exactly. We need to run our business, so. And then,
yeah, right.
And you're living in Brooklyn or Manhattan?
I live in Brooklyn, yeah.
Okay, I've been there. Like I went in 2015, and we'd stay with my wife in Bushwick, which was like pretty cool. I do really enjoy.
Yeah, that's
that
where
place,
I used to live in Bushwick. Now I live in Bed-Stuy.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, not too far, yeah.
Big Small, right?
yeah.
Awesome. Right. And but you are not originally from New York City, don't you? Like you're living in New York State, but like you're living in another city, don't you?
Yeah, I grew up in Rochester, New York, which is a ways away. It's like a 6 to 7 hour drive.
Wow.
Actually, no, it's like more of like a 5 to 6 hour drive. But yeah,
it's crazy because like me as an Italian who thinks about New York is like Manhattan, in downtown Manhattan or Brooklyn or whatever. But then if you think about the state of New York, it's quite big, right?
That's okay. There's people in this country that don't even realize there's a difference. So I'll give you a pass. You're on the other side of the world. Oh, that's okay.
Thank you so much. And so with that being said, like one of the things that I was really impressed by, like the place where you guys, like where you are from, it's like ended up like buying this DVD on this Roman skate shop in Rome, actually. And
Yeah.
because I do collect skating videos, and that was like 2006, 2005, something like that, right?
Yeah, that would have been
2005.
2005. Yeah. It says it on there.
And
Okay, cool.
and like I was super impressed by this video because like it shows me like a scene that I never heard before, like skating, like you guys skating, of course Gabe Holm or Bruning,
Yeah, burning. Yeah.
Bolino, young Bolino, like
Yeah.
super young John
I think
Bolino,
that
Kim
might have been
Adams
John's first uh skate
profile,
section in a video. Yeah. I think
which
so.
is like
I'm not gonna claim that. I don't know. I think it might have been like he was super young then. Like it was crazy. Yeah.
and it's super like he was doing like 360 everything, and he was like
Yeah.
super talented,
Still
man.
had little kid style, but he little did we know he was gonna become like one of the best skaters in the world. I mean, he's amazing, you know.
And like and of course like the guy who impressed me most on that video was Dan Barnes, which was like
Yeah.
his style was like super clean and like immaculate. I do really love. I mean, I've seen his section like his both of those section like several times because they were like fire and they were like pretty cool. I do really
Yeah.
enjoy them.
Yeah, he was on fire then too. That was when he was on top. Like that he was at the top of his game during us filming that for sure. Like had the Solomons making him look good. Dude. Yeah, he was the best.
True. And like, how did you the idea of this project? Where did it came from? Was your idea or like with
Well,
the?
we made a video. We might have made two videos in 2005 actually. But I'm sure the first video like technically came out in 2005. But everything was filmed in like 2004, 2003, and it was like pure Rochester for the most part. Like, and then the guy that I was working with at the time, on that video, he was just like fired up after it came out or whatever, and he just was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." And like, honestly, like the first one was like kind of more of my video, and then he kind of like provided like I guess you could say like color commentary as far as like the editing goes, and then with this video, it was almost like more of his video
Okay.
that I was like assisting editing, and I mean I edited like half of it, and we worked together. We definitely like collaborated on it. It's funny for me to even think about this because I haven't thought about this video in 20 years. I don't know, like 10 over 10 years. But yeah, we definitely collaborated, but it was like more of his vision that you know that was the driving force behind it, and so I yeah. And he's like a really talented filmmaker, and yeah, and so he was a good person to like kind of like latch onto at the time, and kind of like follow his lead in a way. So yeah, there's a lot of yeah, and he just wanted to make it bigger. Like the first one was like just Rochester, and he
Hmm.
wanted to like expand, and that's when like I think Arsenio Patterson was probably involved in the first video we made, but he wanted to make him like a bigger part of that video. And then John Bellino and Gabe Holm, like Gabe Holm actually reached out to us, I think, and wanted to be a part of it. I mean, it was a long time ago, geez. But then it had like all the Rochester guys, and yeah, it was just like, yeah, it was a kind of a weird hodgepodge, actually. I'm not, yeah, it was a weird video,
And
but I'm glad you liked it.
no, I do really like it. Like by the time, like for that time, in my opinion, it was like well edited and like the whole concept. For example, the progression part where Casey Garrity is doing like
Yeah,
that 540 Royale and like Dan Barnes doing like the fake it to 70 back Royale,
yeah,
450 back
yeah,
Royale.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
how it is, like how it was explained and how it was like edited was like pretty cool. And so like
Yeah,
I give you.
that was all him. Like that was like his it was like a really cool yeah, it was a really cool concept. Yeah. But yeah, that
So
was him. I can't take credit for that.
so like with that being said, like I believe that you are like you're working as the filmmaker, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I do like a lot of like cinematography, some directing, camera operating, editing, kind of casting the net wide. But right
So
now
right
I'm just a professional dog dad, stay at home, drink coffee, edit skate videos.
awesome, awesome.
Not much work going on right now. I'm just kind of laying low. trying to
I believe
survive.
so. Exactly, I
Yeah.
believe so. Like same as I am. I'm a videographer here in Milan, and like all the clients postpone like all of the project at least
Oh
the
yeah.
second half of May. So finger
Yeah.
crossed to see what is going on and all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward
Yeah.
for
I'm
that, man.
excited to work again.
Yeah, so am I. Right,
Yeah.
like occasionally, I am going to say that. And earlier, like I was looking on YouTube and I saw this video that you made with Jason Reyna about your skate bag and like with
Oh yeah.
all of the gear that you have while you're going skating, man. Like,
Yeah.
do you really like go around filming with all of that gear?
Not always, no. No way. But when I'm working on, so at that time, everything we were doing was on bikes. Since then, I have a car. I have a car now because where we moved to, Bushwick is like a pain in the ass to park. And where I live now is like pretty easy to like. There's still alternate parking where you have to change the car, but it's like it's easier to find parking. And back where I used to live when I made that video, man, there's times where you'd just be fucked if you had a car. Like you would have to park like miles away basically. And now it's like, the furthest I might have to park if I like try to like park my car, and like the worst time might be like a couple blocks away or something, or a few blocks away. So like, but so all the only reason I'm saying that is because at the time that video was super super focused on like compact like camera light and camera setup. You know what I mean? Just try making it so everything can fit on my back, so I can like have everything in my back, um and then put the skates in like a basket on the front of the bike, and then we can just go.
Nice.
But now, yes, I like now I just if I have a car and if I'm actually taking the car to go skate, which when you have a car you get a little lazier, so I take it more often than I like to admit. But yeah, I might. I'll bring the gear, but I don't know. I don't know.
It's in
I
the
don't know
car.
where I
It's
was going with that.
easier.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
And so with that being said, like Seconds and Ellos, they are both like incredible, like literally incredible works, and I'm a
Thank
huge
you.
fan of them. Like I'm seeing it like till this day, like twice per week, three times per week, because I need to get
Come on.
used to go, no, literally like to go on skating, and like those videos, especially Ellos. It's like I do really love it, man. I have to tell you.
Wow.
And how did you ended up making those two projects?
Um, so I guess it started with seconds. Um, and I just, I'd met Alex like a few times, and they were in New York filming for the Dead video in 2015. They stayed with me, and um, I don't know. I think I just said something to him because like they were driving everywhere, and at the time I was like using a bike, and I was like plotting spots like crazy. Like I'm kind of like fanatical about plotting spots on a map and like taking pictures and having everything like organized like that, especially in a city like New York. It's like it's so big and there's so many different neighborhoods and stuff. But yeah, I think I just said something to him like really offhanded, like, man, it'd be really cool if it was just a one-on-one thing. We were just like going around on bikes and like, yeah, like doing as much as I don't know. I feel like we would just be more efficient if it was just us on bikes without, and it was obviously nothing against like the rest of the Dead team. They're all so sick and stuff, but it was like, they were driving a lot. They didn't, I don't know. I don't know what it was that made me want to even say that to Alex. And like, so there was like this like flicker of an idea for like a few years kind of. And then, um, I was working full time, and then I was no longer working full time. Like this is back in like 2017, I want to say. And I just like brought it up to him. I was like, yeah, remember like I was like, how would you feel about like coming to New York and like working on VOD? And like for whatever reason, the timing didn't really work out, but we just kind of like kept that idea alive, and it was just finally like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And we filmed for maybe 2 weeks or not quite 2 weeks or something, and which is crazy now that I'm realizing that like we should have definitely filmed for longer for seconds, but it worked out like but yeah, I don't know. I guess I appreciate that he like trusted me to do that, I guess, or to make that project. I was like because we had never really worked together before, like only like maybe filmed like a couple things together, but nothing like too crazy. So that was like kind of a bit of a leap of faith on his part to see like, oh, I'm gonna like fly all the way out there and like I'm gonna spend 2 weeks killing myself and like what I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe he was like he'd probably seen the stuff that I had done before and like kind of got the vibe that I could make something like that he would like or whatever it is. But yeah, I still think it was kind of a leap of faith on his part to agree to do the project because we hadn't worked together like really, you know what I mean, on anything.
Yeah, of course.
So, and then from there it just worked out. Like we really like we didn't know each other like terribly well before that project, but we got to know each other pretty fucking well by the end of it. And yeah, like when you're in the trenches like that with somebody for day in, day out, like that's all you're like eat, sleep, and breathing, like this section, and filming and spots and getting, it's hot. It's like June, it was fucking hot, and like I don't know. But yeah, by the end of it, it was just like, I don't know, we were just like vibing, I think, pretty good. And then it just kind of snowballed. Like, we just got this idea for Ellos because we were both going to be at Winter Clash. And I wanted to kill some time in between the end of Winter Clash. And then when my girlfriend had like a week off of work and there was about 3 weeks to kill. And I was like, I don't really know what to do. Maybe I'll bum around Europe or something. And he's like, yeah, I'm going out, because that was the year that they were doing the Winter Clash, like the night at the movies with him. So he was going to Winter Clash that year, and he was like, man, I want to go. I don't want to just go to Winter Clash. I want to do something. I was like, oh fuck, we should go somewhere like Barcelona or something. And I actually said that as a joke. I said it as a joke at first because I thought it would be funny because like, him and AJ filmed that New York part, and then me and him filmed the New York part, and then him and AJ filmed the Barcelona part.
Exactly.
And I said it as a joke, like, oh, let's go to Barcelona, and I'll just be the guy that like steals all of AJ's ideas. And yeah, it really was a joke. But then he was like, fuck yeah, I'll go to Barcelona. I love Barcelona, And then he told John, and then John got really excited about it, and he's like, fuck, I'm gonna take the whole team. And then I found that out, and I thought that meant I was out, like, because I thought that they had it all handled on their end. Like, oh no, we'll just bring our own videographer and we'll film our own thing. And I was like, oh, okay, well, have fun, And then I realized I was still in, and I was like, oh, okay, sick, okay,
Man,
let's go, Yeah, so that was cool. But then after that, like that worked well, and then we filmed this he like came back to New York. We filmed the powder promo. Now we've just done like a bunch of shit, and like hopefully we can do more. I don't know. We just like I think we work well together, like kind of. He's like amazing to film with. Like he's the best in the world. So
damn, that's awesome,
yeah.
man. Quite excited about the UK tour video.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say we've done so. Yeah, I'm literally I'm editing that right now. Like I just broke away from that to do this. Like I was waiting a lot on some Super 8 film for a while, and I finally just got it back. So now I feel like I have all the pieces of the puzzle, and I can just start like putting them all together and making something of it. So.
One other thing that really hits me out in Ellos was the fact that like you combine the Super 8 grading within the P2 like color correction and the grading as well. So that's something that really, like, in my opinion, really stands out on the video.
Because I had a very talented colorist handle that video. Yeah, I know when I'm not good at something, so I'll find somebody who's better at it to do the thing. Like,
which is like obviously could be like a proper production, so that there might be like the colorist, the filmer, and the director, and whatever.
So the colorist is Edwin Rodriguez, who's a skater. He worked for Vice full time as a colorist, so like that was handled. And then the audio was handled by a guy called Adrian Thorstensen, who is from Salt Lake City. He's like an old school skater. He's like back in Daily Bread and all this stuff, like back in the day, but he lives in Queens, and he's a professional audio engineer. And he did the audio in AS and killed it. And Mike McMullen did all the design layout and everything, and Arm Studio is fucking incredible. Christian Delfino did all the photography for the book. He's an amazing photographer. He's the best, my favorite. And then Mark Moreno is a motion graphic designer, and he filmed half the video. Mark is so responsible for Ellos too, because he like put us up, he showed us spots, he drove us around, he filmed half the video, he did the motion graphics on the video. Like he's amazing, and then he skated in the video. And yeah, I mean he's absolutely incredible, and cooked us pasta a couple nights. But yeah. So I mean, it's just like a team. It was a team effort, man.
Teamwork.
Like, you know, yeah. I mean, there's no way I could have done that by myself, you know. But yeah, it was cool.
But it's pretty, yeah, exactly. And are you going to like the developing of those 8 millimeter films are done in Canada by
Yeah,
Sylvan?
okay. I left that out, Sylvain. Yeah. So then we had a blader like process the film, and yeah, and he does an incredible job, and now I really know he did an incredible job, because of like this whole situation. I was a little like weary about sending film out, because I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't know if things were gonna get like super hung up crossing borders and stuff. So I got it done locally, and like it's not as good. I got my film processed locally for this UK project, and it's fine. It's gonna be fine, but it's like the second I saw it, I was like, oh fuck. Like Sylvain does such a better job. I'm like, fuck, okay, I'm just gonna keep going to him from now on. Like, I'm not gonna break away from that. That's a good thing. Yeah, so it's cool to like keep it in house too, with like all bladers like working on everything. So
Yeah, it's cool. Like it must be like an amazing feeling, right? To work with Blader and all that, man.
yeah, 100% blade made.
And so with that being said, like, have you started like when you started skating, like, was your idea to be like a filmmaker, or you ended up like being a filmmaker because you were enjoying skate videos and all that?
When I started skating,
Yeah, like, did you really like when you started skating?
when I started skating, I was 13 years old. I had no fucking idea what I was gonna do, but it was funny. Like early on, I've told the story so many times, but early on, I had a buddy I skated with when I was a kid, who was like he was like a proper juvenile delinquent. Like he was a bad kid. Like he would get in fights and like smoke cigarettes and stuff. And I was like not that kid at all. It was like this little shit, like little twerp, you know. But I skated, and then suddenly I just hear like this guy skates. Right? He was a hockey player, and you know that's probably where all the fighting and stuff came from or whatever. But like he said, I heard that this guy was skating. Like he had a rollerblade tarmacs, and I had rollerblade box cars, and it was this guy Nick, and basically we started skating and stuff, and you know, way back then, like the big goal is that you wanted like a handycam, like a Sony handycam, like an 8 millimeter handycam, and we never had that. I didn't have any money. We were from like the poor side of town, you know, and fucking one night this guy calls me up, like way after hours too. Like I was not allowed to get phone calls at that time, you know, like after 9 sort of thing. He calls me up and he's like, Mike, you got to come over right now. And I'm like, why? What's going on, man? He's like, we got a camera. And I'm like, what do you mean? Where did you get a camera? And he's like, I can't tell you over the phone, man. He's like after there's like a phone tap situation. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll come over right now. And I don't know if I snuck out or told my mom a lie. I have no idea, but I went over, and I get over there, and like he like sneaks me into his house at the time, and like he's dressed in all black. He's got this like book bag, and he opens his book bag, and he's got this 8 millimeter handycam in the book bag, right? And I'm like, where did you get that? Like whatever it is. And he's like, yeah, so I got in trouble at school, and they gave me detention, so I had to stay after school, and so the bus that I took home was a different bus than I normally take. And when I get on the school bus, now I don't know about you guys in Italy, but we had these things back in the day called bus cams. Okay.
Okay.
And it was a camera on a bus, but it was just a box with like a mirror, right? And it would just be a blinking light. You never see what's in there. You think it's just an empty box with a blinking light just to try to get kids to like behave, you know? You have no idea. But he's like, I get on the bus, and the case for the bus cam is off, and all that's behind it is an 8 millimeter Sony handycam.
No way.
Yeah, and he says the whole bus started just staring at this thing. He's like, I got off the bus, I remembered what number the bus was, and then after that night, I guess he donned himself an all black Senate hoodie or something. went back to the bus yard, crawled under the fence, found the bus, kicked the door and fucking ripped it off the thing, threw it in his backpack, ran home, called me up, and then we had a camera ever since. And then I was obsessed, right? Like we got a fisheye for it. We fucking went in, dude, and like I've been filming skating ever since, kind of like and yeah, I guess, yeah, it just kind of takes over. And I'm sure the same thing with you. I mean, I'm sure you just started skating and filming, and then you realized there was a little bit more to it. And then you can maybe make a movie with your friends. You maybe can do this. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like there's so many people that are photographers and graphic designers and creators and all of this stuff because of this spark of passion from skating. It's just makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And it's amazing, in my opinion, to see how like we are like super heated by inspirational stuff, just like maybe your videos or Dom West videos or Ivan Naris videos and all that. So that is why probably we are all, you know, and back in the day by Joe Navran or Dave Payne and all that. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And big influences, Brian Bell. Rest in peace.
Exactly. And like talking about like the old school stuff, like which was like the skate video that influenced you the most?
Volume.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I can say that pretty like definitively.
Awesome.
That was a huge one. Yeah, Wasteland was a big one up there. A lot of Bo Coddington's stuff early in the day, or back in the day, was really influential. And then a lot of Brian Bell stuff. Making dreams reality. I don't know. I heard the other day that you just started in like 2000 or something, so that might have been a little bit before your time. But yeah, Brian Bell, huge. Man, it was just so unlike, we were like suburban kids, and then you watch like all these like, I mean, they were probably suburban kids too, but they're maybe not. I don't know, but they were pulling it off. Like they were like from the fucking streets, man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
There's just like graffiti and blunts and breakdancing and chicks' asses, and you're like, what the fuck reality is this? Like, I was obsessed with it when I was a kid, man. Like that shit was, yeah, it was so cool.
I can't remember what I've heard. It probably was one of those Jump Street episodes, but like there's someone who says it like at the B-Bell funeral, there were like thousands of people like from all of this community, from b-boy, graffiti, and all that. And
yeah, like I didn't know that, but I can imagine. Like he touched so many worlds, you know. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
And like if you ever get the chance, like imaginary, to work with someone from the past, making a VOD or like a profile, who he would be?
If I got the chance to make a section of somebody from the past.
Exactly. That's a tough one, I believe.
I've never thought about that. I would like to see Dustin Latimer on Wizards. That would be
wow.
Really, you know what I mean? With like 6 months of practice, or maybe he probably doesn't even need 6 months, but whatever. 6 months, so he reaches like Grandmaster, and that would be fucking amazing. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, and Latimer's not even from the past. He still skates, but you know, who knows? Walt, I hear Walt skating again, or still is, or whatever. Yeah, it's a tough one. I don't know. There's too many. Yeah, it's so hard. I don't know.
And so like with that being said, like besides the 909 UK tour, do you have any other upcoming projects on the way?
No, I'm just trying to like get through each week at this point. It's so hard to plan. I mean, it's so tempting to right now because flights are like $27 to fly around the world. So I would love to plan something as far as like traveling and skating right now, but like who the fuck knows like where we're going to be in 6 months, 3 months, 2 months. I have no idea. So no plans. I mean, Leon and I were talking about doing like another Wizard project and like maybe getting like a group of people and so it wasn't just him or just me and him. I think it would be really cool to put like 5 people with really different styles on Wizards to like make a section somewhere. Like, I don't know. I think that would be really cool, but yeah, I mean, there's nothing concrete right now. As much as I wish I could say there was, but
yeah, there's like a shout out from Dean. He said like, we need the new Leon Bassin part as
I
soon as
know.
possible.
Well, I was supposed to, yeah, I mean, we would have shot that by now because I had a job in Washington State, which is right by Vancouver. And I was gonna, I had my flights and everything. I padded it out to like, I had like a week at the end to like go to Vancouver, and me and Leon were gonna film something. So if it
Yeah.
weren't for this, there would be a new Leon piece in the works. But we did just film one. We just filmed one in on the West Coast. So whoever that was that said something, go watch the one that we just made. We just made one.
And then like a new one will be soon.
Yeah.
And so Mike, with that being said, yeah, I mean that's pretty much. I just the only one thing I was wanting to ask you, like for like spot wise, are you like one of those people like me? I am like that, who's like programming the spots like through the skate day, or like you go randomly to look up for spots?
Oh, okay. Well, it's like a little bit of column A and then a little bit of column B because you can't like, I feel like you can't, I guess you could just do super random stuff in the city, but it's like really, it's just so inefficient. So I guess like when I'm working on a project where I have like a very finite amount of time, like we only have like 1 week to film or 2 weeks to film or whatever it is, like I'd rather the spots be pretty laid out and just to at least give us like destinations and then kind of like trickle in the like, oh, that looks cool, let's stop over there, sort of a little bit more spontaneity. I think you get your best stuff with like the spontaneous like, oh, this thing looks cool, let's fuck around on this, versus like the we're gonna go to this spot, I'm gonna do this trick, we're gonna film it from this. I don't know, I feel like when you like really structure everything too much, it loses its so I guess I'm talking about filming, of course. I'm not talking about just like your average day of skating. Average day of skating, I could give two shits. Like really, we might just go into the city and just bebop around and skate what we skate. But I don't know. I assumed for whatever reason you were talking about when I'm filming a project. And when I'm
Yeah,
filming a project, there's definitely structure to it, but I like to let it go a little more free form and just kind of like hit stuff in between here and there. Because yeah, a lot of the coolest stuff is on stuff that's not really like a session spot,
plan.
like especially in New York. Yeah, it's like it just might be this one little like tiny thing that there's really only one trick to do on it, but just fucking do it because this doesn't exist anywhere but here. So
Yeah, true. New York has like its own vibe, and it's crazy. Like I just get it like 2 days when I was there in 2015, and it was like
mhm.
amazing. I mean, like we just get it the ledge where Broskow did like zero spin over the jersey in
Oh,
seconds, and
yep,
uh, and then like
yeah,
a couple of down rails like around that area. But like there were like
yeah,
so many things you can skate in that area. Like
yeah.
so, it's
That's
yeah,
that's a Battery Park. I mean, that's like a classic, legendary New York City spot.
man.
That or I mean, I say spot, but I mean, there's like 100 spots in this one park. Kind of like so many. It's
Yeah.
fucking crazy. You could spend like a week skating there, basically.
Shit.
Yeah.
I really would like to go back when I'm in New York. I was talking with JP from Butter TV the other like a couple of months ago because already it's
I was gonna say, did you guys do one of these, you and
yeah,
JP?
yeah,
Oh
he was like
fuck, I missed it.
the very first week. I'm gonna send you later the YouTube link. It was
Please
like one
do.
of the like probably the first week of March or something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
two
He's
months
one of
ago.
my favorite. He's one of my favorite right now, like
Mm.
making videos. I think he's
Yeah,
so
so am
talented.
I.
He's amazing.
I love it. I love like the grading, how he's editing and all that is like
Yeah.
really. I
His
do really
editing is
like.
so strong for sure. It's amazing.
Mm. So, Mike,
Hmm.
with that being said, I don't want to steal your time, man. I do really appreciate you like coming out here, talk to us about your project and all that. So, thank you for your time, brother. And I'm looking forward to see you guys soon, maybe for a damn skate project here in Italy. Who knows?
I would love that. That'd be great.
And so, yeah, thank you so much, boss. I'm looking forward to see you soon and stay safe.
Thanks, man. You too. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
Peace.
thank you. Peace.
Later. 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 Later.